welcome back to Turner Music Academy. I am your host, Michael Turner. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Chord Wheel and discussing, kind of going into some other things. Definitely, guys, if you haven't subscribed, like the video, share the video. Check out my other channel, Turner Life Sport, and if you guys are considering, and ladies considering being a supporter of either of these channels, then check out my design studio, Turner Design Studios. You can just Google search that. I'll put a link to my website in the description, where you guys can actually get several designs for sale. 53 of them are for sale in different sizes. And one thing that I just want to touch base with you guys on, because as viewers will know, is that I am making a studio album, and I finally have I got some new design tools, and this is the concept art for my concept album Philosophia. So it turned out really great, and it's of course got a sister piece here, or brother piece here. This is actually my design studio logo, and that also turned out pretty great. So I'm very, very happy with this, primary colorway. And one thing that I want to also touch base on is, excuse me, sipping my sparkling LaCroix here, so I might have some hiccups. I would like to do a giveaway on the channel. So if I get, let's say like in a week or two, if I get, thinking outside of the box, but excuse me, also being realistic, if I get 100 subscribers on this channel, and if 25 of y'all subscribe on the next channel, then what I will do is I'd love to give away one of these pieces here. I gotta go quickly because I do have a lengthy review to do. So this is a great piece. This is, here's another cube. This is a cube. These are called puzzle cubes, by the way. This is a bit more of my abstract work that I've done. This is also another piece, almost exactly like the subconscious theory, that I've done differs a little bit. Here's an abstraction based on the Vesica Pisces. And then here is another kind of version of this piece here, my concept album. These two I won't be giving away. These are mine. However, if you guys are interested in purchasing these designs here, I have maybe about 6 or 7 of these on my design studio. In different colorways. I can do custom colorways for you guys, clearly. Really, like Pink Floyd says, any color you like. So if you are interested in those designs, or just several more, definitely check out my shop and we'll go from there. And if you guys, like I've said in previous videos, want a custom piece, master design, Van Gogh, Cezanne, Da Vinci, Picasso, Mondrian, Michelangelo, whoever, like I said, just shoot me an email, message me. You can message me on Google, message me on the shop. In fact, my phone number's on Google, so if you want to do business with me, just let me know, and let me know what you guys want, and we'll go from there. So like I said, I hope y'all are having a great rising day, great afternoon, and let's talk about the Chord Wheel. What do I think about it? What do I like about it? Let's talk about it. So this is the book that I decided to invest in. I actually really wanted to invest in this because I wanted to use this in my other Circle of Fifths video. If you guys know this kind of Circle of Fifths, this is the Circle of Fifths here. And in the previous video, Advanced Circle of Fifths 3, I was basically talking about key modulation. I'll show you guys the piece here. I actually was modulating keys using scales. And there's going to be a part 4 of this, so definitely look out for that. And clearly this is just a small little example, but I went very much in depth in theory. So I didn't call it modulation though, I basically just called it getting out of key, and that was with a bass understanding. So again, let me talk about this book just for the audience at large and tell you guys what I think about it as a professional musician and as a music teacher. So first of all, let me start by saying that I am a huge fan of the cover tool. This is actually what the whole book is about. The book is 12 pages. I'll just show you guys so from cover to cover. It's 12 pages. This is kind of what the book looks like, okay? And the thing is I'm not a fan of the book. And in fact, and basically to make this as simple as possible, I know 95% of the material in the book by heart and soul, and you know, it retails for $19.99, and I can't really justify spending money on a book that I know 95% of the material on, you know, just for, and I say this with love, a gimmick, because my point is that if, first of all, this says the ultimate tool for all musicians, and again, I don't hate this. What I think, based on my 8 years experience as a professional musician, would say is that and as a businessman, a better marketing idea for the cover would be to say a great tool for all musicians who don't know anything about music theory, because I needed a refresher on 5% of the concepts in the book. And you know, the first 6 pages of the book are all about how to use the chord wheel. And again, if you know anything about circle of fifths, then you'll know all that. And basically how it came across to me is it was almost like, and again, I'm an author and I'm writing a book, so I kind of know the ins and outs of writing, definitely to my own degree. And I almost felt like he was, for 6 pages, selling me the idea of keeping it on my bookshelf. And I know he's not, and again, I'm not intending to, you know, I respect Jim Fleser, the author. I'm just saying, for musicians, again, if you're interested in purchasing a tool or a circle of fifths tool or whatever, the cover is phenomenal, okay? But as I've said, but the thing is that, like I said, for me, I can't necessarily justify owning it, as much as I want to hold on to it. So, you know, let me just show you guys. So basically, it's in paragraph format, but all of the paragraphs from start to finish in the book are 2 to 3 sentences. So it's not, if you're looking for a book that goes very in-depth on music theory, this is not the right book for you, even about chords. The chord theory in the book is great, and he goes much more in depth about that than anything else, which is not surprising, let's be real. But 2 of the topics that he mentions in the book, one of them being modes. I don't remember if there was a third one or not, that's why I say that. Definitely 2, like I said, he doesn't talk about at all. I'll show you the example for the modes, and again, I'm not intending to be critical. This is kind of factual. So this basically is, so he's selling modes, like you have modes in the book, and then of course you do have the 7 modes, but this is all you get about modes. So you get, maybe, I would say, like, I don't know, you know, I want to say, like, as of right now, like 30 cents of information. You can't do anything with what's presented in the book. And then he says, you know, it says in the book, while this text has been provided to get you up and running, music is a subject of unlimited depth, which I somewhat agree with. And it says, please visit the website, okay, for greater understanding, etc. And I went to the website, not that I needed to, but I wanted to check it out, and the page was down, and I really don't think I need to check it out anymore. And so that really leads me to believe that the book itself is a gimmick, and I say that because as I've said before, a person who, this is not the ultimate tool for all musicians. A person with years of understanding and training does not need a book like this. What I think Jim, and I think Jim could make a great deal of money doing this, is selling, this is a 9x12 cover. And just for example, those arts, those drawings and designs that I just showed you are all 9x12. Here's a 9" by 12 Bristol paper that okay? It's the same size, as you can see. And so this is not a bad, even though 9x12 is generally speaking in the West, typically the smallest rendering art profile, rectangle you can design in. I think personally, like, to have a reference point, still maybe definitely, I love this, as I've said. But to invest in like an 11x14 or even an 18x24 inch, you can just paste that on your wall. An 18x24 inch is 4 times the size of a 9x12, so that would be great. I think that would be like a lot. Personally, I think that would be a way, for me, and I think a lot of people would be better than the book. Excuse me. So, and to really kind of drive everything home that I've said, there's actually another note in the book that says, many music students find the above form, he's talking about chords, because he put a little bit of a form, like there's the only formula, there's a couple formulas in the book, but how everything's presented is it's in a way that it's really more of a programmatic way, presented to the reader in a programmatic way. So he's telling you, you just do this. He's not telling you the reason why you do it or the real theory behind why you do it. He's presenting you with, again, the programmatic theory, but it's not in the way that will really benefit us, I feel, a student at all in the long run. I think it's actually going to set up a lot of students with failure because, again, it's like, talks about circle of fifths, doesn't talk about major scale. We'll talk about major scale, doesn't talk about the formula of the major scale. So he just says you can do, you just use the chord progression as the major scale, but never talking about whole, half, whole, half, which again, I fundamentally disagree with. I think that's a very terrible idea. And like I was saying in the quote in the book, this is a quote. This isn't the whole quote. It's like 2 sentences out of the 3. And it says, because this is all I needed for the video. It says, many music students find the above, like I said, formula method confusing because it defines a minor chord with its flatted third by comparing it to a major chord scale. The chord wheel allows for you to enjoy the benefits of chord theory without intimate knowledge of this type. And that's exactly what I could sum up the whole book about, and why I'm making this video is that the whole book, from cover to cover, is a very poor example of music theory at large. It's like, again, a great example that comes to mind is, a great tool for people who want to dip their toes in kind of like maybe 6 different topics of music theory, okay? But that being said, there's no real formal education, okay? It's very informal. It's very like, yeah, here you go, and go crazy. And I'm not a big fan of that. It's not a Swiss Army knife. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Music theory is not that. And however, if you learn music theory, then it be truly, and want to be the Einsteinian theoretician that goes way out into space like I did in the other video, then that changes because you know it. And theory becomes fact at that point. It's not like, well, I have this tool and now I can, the sky's not the limit. No, as I've said before, it's setting up musicians that want to learn for failure. Another really big thing about the book that I'm not a fan of, just in terms of the cover, is this, which is actually the chromatic format of his palette on the cover. And let me show you what I mean by that. So first of all, let me talk about a couple different things. And keep in mind, I'm a huge fan of the reference tool. Using this as a reference tool would be great. However, so we get, as we know, modern music, and we can put Baroque, classical, and Romantic in modern music, uses something called TET, or 12-tone equal temperament. And that is the chromatic scale, and we get the word chroma in Greek, from Greek, which means color. And if you know anything about music, and if you're an artist like myself, musical artist, okay, what you'll actually understand the more as an artist, as a designer, draftsman, painter, the more refined your knowledge becomes, is that artists will tune their palette like a musician tunes his instrument or plays a scale, okay? Organizes theoretically relationships and order in a song or a composition. It's the same thing. And what I mean by that is every single tone, because tones are called steps of color or value in music, right? A pitch is that. It has its own value. So when it comes to 12-tone equal temperament chromatic scale, every single note on the chromatic scale from A to G sharp is actually representative of one of the 12 tones of color. These are primary colors, but of one tone of color. And there's a phenomena called synesthesia, where people, when they hear music, they'll see color. And that's more of a syndrome disease, but it is a real phenomenon. I remember, like, when I was first playing rock music and blues music, I saw blue all the time. And one of my biggest problems with the cover, it's twofold, is that he should have a better choice of color, first of all. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, in the two examples that I just showed you, the